Et bonjour, on se retrouve pour Final Fantasy XVI. Excusez-moi, je sens réfléchir à ce qu'il fallait que je fasse. On va reprendre, cet arrêté. Dans mercredi. Ouais. On commence tôt pour éviter la chaleur. Et je pense qu'on va s'arrêter assez tôt aussi parce que je veux pas que et l'ordinateur et la PlayStation tournent trop longtemps. Parce qu'il fait chaud dehors déjà. Si en plus j'ai ça, il va faire méga chaud à l'intérieur. On va peut-être faire 2 petites heures. On va voir où ça nous mène. On va faire comme d'habitude. Éventuellement dimanche il fait censé faire moins chaud, je crois. On pourra faire un peu plus longtemps. Mais là sinon ça va être horrible. Il fait déjà 31. Ouais, dimanche il fait un peu moins chaud. Putain, demain il fait maximum 34 aujourd'hui. Demain 24. C'est horrible. Les températures font un yo-yo, c'est... donc on devait la neige déchue... La neige... Je vais y arriver. La nef déchue. Et elle est à la 100... On a déjà été 150 millions de fois.
I'll be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't need behind.
Ok. Il fait un peu sombre ici, je sais pas où je suis passé. Je sais elle est où, ok. Donc, si je me mets comme ça et que je passe par là, on devrait arriver à quelque chose.
If you're ready, we leave at once.
Non, c'est ça que je vais faire. Je crois qu'on est sur la bonne voie. J'ai cru que c'est un tronc d'arbre, non. En tout cas, tout ça là, c'est un monstre. J'en ai marre. Bon, ils sont que niveau 13, mais... Depuis quand? Non, j'ai repris quand il y a des araignées ici, mais effectivement, il y en avait. Hello.
Oh, there you are, Sid. Thanks so much for coming. The, ruins are just over there, as is the creature I told you about, I'd imagine. Would you mind?
Of course. I'll be right back.
C'est un piège? Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Il y a un coffre que j'avais pas vu.
Anybody home?
Oh bon.
This must be our unwanted visitor. Time to go. Attack! Help me, boy. Toggle, kill!
Je suis pas sur le bon truc.
The things I do for you, mate.
Sid! Oh, thank goodness you're safe.
You shouldn't have any trouble now.
Je vais chercher ma bouteille d'eau.
Well, don't let us keep you. We'll, see that everything is transported safely back to the hideaway.
All right. I'll let Mid know you're on your way.
Je vais juste chercher ma bouteille d'eau parce que sinon ça va être un problème. Petit arrêt obligatoire près du chien. Alors, excusez-moi. Alors, tourner au repère.
Seeing troops amassing at every border crossing.
come up with something soon.
Mid. Helena has recovered the material for the helm. She'll be along shortly.
Excellent. Another job well done.
And just one remaining.
Right, the shielding. This one's a bit of a bugger.
How so?
The plating's enough to stop the engines going pop, but those things will still be spitting out enough fire to set the rest of the ship ablaze. Which is why you need proper shielding. A prison for the dragon's breath that's blazing away inside. I thought a triple thick layer of tempered steel might do it. Or more of the stuff that the Fallen use, but they'd both be too heavy. The helm and the plating are bulky enough as it is. Add any more weight and the whole ship would be at the bottom of the briny before we'd even started. I need something light. But I've racked my brains and I just can't think what would do it.
Well, if I were in need of obscure knowledge, I know whose counsel I would seek. Hippocrates.
Tomes? Yeah, well, I'd thought of that, obviously. I've got all the details written down here. Can you take this to him, see what he makes of it?
Right away.
Merde, je me suis fait avoir. J'ai cru qu'on était moins loin que ça. Peut-être changer la musique du repère. Commence à être trop habituel.
Thank you, Clive.
Du coup, pas droit.
Hippocrates, do you have the moment?
For you, Clive, always.
Well, actually, it's for mid this time. Could you take a look at this?
Shielding for a mithril engine. Whatever will that go?
C'est la 150e fois qu'on voit son plan.
What are these notes around the edges?
She has some specific requirements for the materials. The shielding needs to be able to resist extreme heat on the inside, and yet remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight, while also being light enough not to sink it. As you can imagine, she's struggling to find anything that meets her needs.
I see.
I wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you might be able to search the records for one.
Perhaps it is not a different material she requires, but a different approach.
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home. Its blighted waters eat away far more quickly than fresh water or even brine, at timber and steel alike. And yet, we have made a home here from those very materials nonetheless.
We have. But Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from rotting. And Obelisk complains that without a constant supply of pitch. I see.
Early Gregorian histories speak of a preparation known as moondew. It is said to be able to resist even the most ferocious flames. Before the dragoons tamed the worms and wyverns of the realm, nobles would daub their castle walls with it in order to guard against dragonfire.
So if we could recreate it...
It might be applied to some material or other in order to provide the protection Mid requires. As to how best to apply it and to what material, perhaps Bardolph and Obelisk might be of assistance. I shall speak to them and see what wisdom they might have to offer. If you would be so kind as to procure the necessary ingredients, I shall discuss the specifics of how it might be most effectively put to use with our two friends. The knowledge of the past may yet prove useful to we of the modern era.
Thank you, Hippocrates. And since you're asking others to help you, perhaps I should too.
So you need a hand, do you?
We do. I'll be heading to market for the ingredients we need. I could do with some help. And some company too.
The other can assist me in researching how best to prepare the shielding itself.
Can we count on your aid?
Always. Well, if Jill's game.
Thank you.
I am sure either of these fine young minds would prove
J'ai envie de voir si on prend Taria avec nous.
I leave the decision as to who will go with whom in your capable hands, Clive.
Qu'elle sorte un petit peu.
Shielding that guards against even the most ferocious flames. We could have done with some of that on Drustinus.
So, Clive, have you made your decision? Who will accompany you on your little excursion?
Qu'est-ce que compagnie vont faire les courses?
All right. So, what are we fetching?
I have taken the liberty of preparing a list. Here.
Garlic. Conch shells. Are you sure this is the right list? Looks like the ingredients for someone's supper.
Though these items may seem mundane, they have potent effects that are rarely exploited, effects for which they were once highly prized. So much so, in fact, that they were harvested almost to extinction, hence moon dews having fallen from favor. Now, of course, they can be obtained with ease. You should be able to find everything you need at the market in Northreach.
Well, isn't that convenient? I was hoping to be able to make a trip over that way sometime soon. Need to speak to an old acquaintance. I'll meet you there.
All right. Stay safe.
Pourquoi ils peuvent pas y aller ensemble?
I'll see you later, Clive.
Good luck with your research.
C'est un peu froid quand même. Parfait. Alors. Je crois qu'ils allaient nous laisser là. Mais non, ça me chaleur.
Now, where's Talia?
C'est une bonne question. Merde, j'ai oublié de prendre le coffre. Là on était tout à l'heure.
Need to stock up on these.
There you are, Talia.
Ah, and there you are. We shouldn't have any problems finding what we need in a place like this. But if time is of the essence, perhaps we should split up. Take a few items each.
All right. What should I look for?
Let's see now. Why don't you take the garlic and the pepio nuts? Meet me by the gate when you've got them.
Buy, sell, or be gone. And good riddance.
Ok.
How the hell is anyone supposed
Pas très accueillant comme marchand.
Any friend of the innkeeper is a friend of mine. I hope it's to your liking.
That should do it. Hopefully Talia's finished too.
Mais avant toute chose, de récupérer ce truc qui m'appelle.
Well, did you find everything?
I did. Here.
Garlic and pepio nuts. Job done. We should get this back to Tomes then. He'll be waiting.
Ok. Y a autre chose?
But we're not in too much of a rush, are we? Quick chat.
C'est pour ça que je t'ai amené.
Do you know, I think this is the very first time we've been out on an errand together.
I think you might be right.
In all the years since you and that scowl of yours first appeared, you haven't invited me out once. For shame.
Well, it seemed long overdue. And you did say you had some shopping to do.
I was hoping to restock my supplies of herbs and liniment, yes. You and Jill alone burned through them like wildfire. No luck, though. My usual supplier's not here, and I refuse to pay the prices these gougers charge.
I'll ask Karen when we get back. What is it?
Oh, just memories. I came here with Sid once, shopping for supplies, just like today. And just like today, I came away empty-handed. Sid even said he'd speak to Karen for me when we got back. Has it really been 5 years? I remember it as if it was yesterday. Hold on. Does that mean it's been 5 years since we met? Feels a lot longer.
It does. In a good way, of course. Thank you, Tyre.
For what?
For everything. I just want you to know that all you've done for us, all you still do, it's appreciated.
Do you think I'd stick around if I thought it wasn't? But in the spirit of sharing and caring, you're appreciated too, by all of us. Well, I think we've tarried long enough. I ought to get these ingredients back to Tomes so he can make up this concoction of his. I'll meet you back at the hideaway, all right?
All right. And thanks again.
I heard you the first time.
Je suis en remis, je sais même pas comment c'est possible. Avec le temps qu'il fait. Bon, je sais toujours pas ce qu'on va faire avec de l'ail et des fruits, mais c'est pour son repas, je suis sûr. Un truc de ce style.
I wonder how Hippocrates is getting on with the moon dew.
Oh, I'm never drinking.
How's work on the shielding progressing, Hippocrates?
Well, very well indeed. And thanks in no small part to your kind assistance. I was just explaining to Tarja how we might best go about preparing the moon dew. And now that we have all the ingredients, we may begin.
You can count on me. I've mixed more than a few mysterious concoctions in my time.
I'm sure you have. What about the shielding itself?
Work is underway, under the watchful eyes of Bardolph and Obolus.
Apparently, it'll be ready soon.
Thank you. All of you.
Right then. Jill, would you join me in the infirmary? Many hands make light work and all that.
Of course.
Oh, and Clive. It was good to talk. We should do it again sometime.
It appears our work here is almost at an end. A shame. I was enjoying playing the man of action for once. When both the shielding and the moondew are ready, it will merely be a matter of applying the one to the other. Followed by a rigorous process of testing and retesting, of course. Perhaps someone ought to warn young Mid of that.
Leave it to me. Thank you, Hippocrates.
Je te pourrais récupérer une récompense.
I'd better go and give Mid the good news then.
On ira voir en passant. On fera peut-être une autre mini-pause juste après.
We're seeing troops amassing at every border.
How may I help you today, Clive?
C'était combien? Ah non, c'est 715, d'accord.
Come again. I may
Dans ma
have
tête,
more
c'était
for
sur
ya.
le niveau d'avant. Je sais pas pourquoi. C'était ouvert à l'ensemble?
Let me know if you find any books worth reading.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mid. But you'll be pleased to know that work on the shielding is underway.
You found something for it?
In a manner of speaking, Hippocrates knew of a substance that's highly resistant to heat. A coating that should provide the protection you need. He's supervising the construction and testing of the shielding as we speak.
Brilliant! I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Don't thank me. I'm just the errand boy.
Right then, better start working out how to bolt all these bits together. To the Black Hammer!
You know, when I got into the smithing
Et
game,
j'entends le début de cette chanson.
I thought I'd be making swords and shields, not thermal bleeding.
J'ai l'impression qu'il y a une chanson de Genshin
didgeridoo-dahs.
Impact.
Displacement stacks.
Same difference. Whatever you call it, I ain't putting it together in here. It's cramped enough as it is. Let's take this outside. Mid, you get all the parts lined up on the deck. I'll take care of the rest.
On my way!
Oh, and bring me the biggest hammer you can find. This is gonna require some precision walloping.
C'est ce truc-là, là? Bon, de loin, ça avait l'air plus... pas moins bien assemblé.
It's finished! It's finally finished!
Fuck for that. I'll be feeling my hammer arm for weeks.
Thank you, Clive, Blackthorn, everyone. That's one down and just 3 more to go.
What?
Sorry.
Oh, didn't I tell you? The Enterprise has 4 mithril engines and we'll be needing a displacement stack for each.
You don't mean...
Don't worry. Now they've got a finished one to work off, my gang in Canva can build the rest.
Good luck to them, I say. Right, I'm off to get a sling for this elbow. Any other work comes in, keep it to yourselves, eh?
Ok. Je vais faire une pause 2 secondes. Et on revient. Attendez, tout. Tout de suite. Et on est de retour. Excusez-moi. Comme je disais tout à l'heure, je suis un peu enrhumé. J'ai besoin de me moucher. Sinon, ça va être compliqué. Alors, reprenons là où on en était.
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just daydreaming. Thinking about the Enterprise sailing off over the horizon to shores unknown. Searching for a land untouched by the Blight. Just like me and my dad planned. So if the worst came to the worst and every scrap of soil in the Twins turned black, we might still have a chance. That's what she was meant to be. You see, one last chance just in case we needed it. But now she's so close to being finished, I've realized I don't want her to be that. I don't want her to be just a lifeboat for us to cling to if things get desperate. I want people to sail aboard her by choice, not from the lack of it. In a world where we're not just trying to survive, but where we can actually live.
I'm working on that. And I'll do everything I can to get you what you want.
Don't you always? All right. My mind's made up. As soon as the Enterprise is fit to sail, I'm putting her under your command. Sod our plans, I'm trusting in yours.
Are you sure about this?
Something tells me it's what my dad would have wanted.
He'd be proud of you.
You were gonna visit his grave, weren't you?
I was. And you
Moi
can
aussi.
too now that your
J'avoue que j'avais
project
oublié.
is finished.
Right. There's just one thing I need to finish up first. Won't be a mo.
All right. I'll let Otto know you're coming. Meet us in the mess when you're ready.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Mid told me she was building a ship.
All right, Clive. Asterix. We'd finished sending half the hideaway traipsing across the Twins, has she? I swear, that girl'd do anything to put off visiting her old dad's grave. No excuses now, though, eh?
Not quite. She said there was one final thing she had to take care of. I'm sure she'll be finished soon enough.
She said that, in those words.
She did, yes.
Clive. Were you born yesterday or something? There is no thing. She'll probably be halfway to Canberra by now.
Mid. I might still be able to catch her.
Ça aurait été trop simple. Ah merde. Vous croyez qu'on va la rattraper ici?
Obleth, have you seen Mid?
Yep. In a boat, going that way.
Then I'm too late.
You in a hurry at all, are ya? Oh, I offered to take her across, but she wouldn't wait. Just paid for a dinghy and rowed off. Oars going like the clappers. Got some life in her, ain't she? But anyway, I was on my way up to see you, as it happens.
Et nous on cherche
Got a
Mid.
letter for you. Urgent, by the sound of it. One of your uncle's men said I was to hand it to you in person, post-bleeding haste. And you're here now.
Thank you, Oboleth.
Don't mention it.
What tidings, Uncle?
Cher neveu, un de mes contacts à Canberra m'a parlé de l'entreprise, dont il soutient financièrement la construction. C'est un sacré projet et je serais ravi d'y participer aussi. Cependant, j'ai appris que l'administration des villes libres mène l'enquête sur ce qu'elle appelle un chantier naval non homologué. Cela pourrait poser quelques problèmes à Mid qui s'attelait à la construction d'un nouvel amarrage pour son navire. Est-ce que tu pourrais envoyer Gab sur place? Il sera protégé Mid et son chantier de toute incursion néfaste, j'en suis certain.
Trouble in Canberra. Well, I'll need someone to keep an eye on Mid.
So what? Mid got us to do all the dirty work and then just sailed off into the sunset?
It, seems that way.
Well, nothing we can do about it now. But next time you plan on visiting Sid, You might want to tie her to something before you suggest it.
Ah, don't be so hard on her. Gotta admit, the dirty work was kind of fun. Everyone pitching in, all that bollocks. Just like when we built this place.
You're right.
Anyway, we all set to head to the old hideaway. I could do with getting to Canva pretty sharpish. Wouldn't do to keep Lord Rosfield of the Seven High Houses waiting now, would it? Not after he asked for me personally.
Gav will be leaving with me. Will you mind the place while we're gone?
You can count on me. Just be sure to give Sid and the others my regards. All right.
Oh, by the way, Jill will be joining us too. She's got some things to take care of, but she'll meet us there.
I hope she's telling the truth at least.
Je vois une mission annexe. Ah, je vais faire la mission. Bon, tant pis. On n'a pas le droit. Plus un plus, c'est qu'on va gagner quelque chose. C'est ça, ça tombe.
Well, Sid, I remember what you told me. But if no one is listening to what you have to say, you may as well not say it. But I will say this, old friend. Hugo Cooker is gone. His shadow looms over us no longer.
It's a pity the Phoenix can't be in two places at once. If he'd have been with us, maybe he could have done something for the lost.
Not even the Phoenix can bring people back from the dead. Life has a beginning and an end. So we must live while we have the chance. Not as slaves to the crystals, but as free men.
May we join you?
Lady Karen, what a pleasant surprise.
I thought I'd drop by and see how you were all doing before heading off to restock my supplies.
C'est beau.
It wasn't the most scenic view back then, but it were never as bad as this.
I know. The blight marches on. And soon, there'll be no escaping sights like these.
So our mission remains unchanged. We cannot stop until every Mother Crystal is gone, and their thirst for ether with them. The only one that remains in Storm is Drake's tail in the Crystalline Dominion.
Our next target.
We're going to Twinside.
It's the capital of the Empire these days. I wouldn't like to think how tightly guarded they've got the place. Not that that'll stop you, but we do well to scout it out before you go charging in.
We would indeed.
If you're off to the Dominion, you can take this great lump with you.
Goods.
Oh, I am sorry. Have you forgotten you're the most wanted man in the Twins? I thought you might like to disguise yourselves as the attendants of a travelling trader, assuming you've no better ideas. You wanted to buy yourself some tools, didn't you? Well, now's your chance.
You're letting me go with them? Oh, thanks, Nan.
Stop that! You'll break me bones.
C'est ce que j'allais dire.
There's a caravan that runs back and forth between the Dominion and the Bocklad markets. It's managed by the Merchants Guild. Just show them Goots' traders pass and you'll be on your way. It'll be a damn sight less risky than footing it the length of the Crystal Road. That's for sure.
Thank you, Karen. And glad to have you with us, Goots.
Okay then. I'll get me things and I'll meet yous there. See yous down in Bocklad.
Get off! Me poor fingers!
Jill, you're with me.
Understood.
And Gav,
Already on my way, Captain.
be careful.
Aren't I always?
Do you see that, Sid? Your protege's making a proper little outlaw of himself.
J'ai toujours peur pour Gilles. Mais du coup, on va pas faire ça. On va faire ça d'abord. On va pas... Ouf, elle a une mission pour nous, dis donc. Ah non, c'est une lettre. Une lettre avec une mission. Ok. On va d'abord enlever les points jaunes là.
Mid told me she was building a ship.
Here for another of my lectures? Allow me to educate you. Of course. Here you are. The state of the realm is ever-changing, Clive.
Je sais pas si je... C'est bizarre parce que j'ai l'impression qu'il est là sans être là en fait. Bon ça va.
Well, that's it then. Here, Sid. Reckon you might be just the man to help me out of a bit of bother, if you've a mind to.
Let's hear it.
Well, it's about this alembic the chief's got me making. Lovely bit of kit it is. Bunging a solution you want splitting, and it will separate it out, just like that. Problem is, it won't always get rid of all the impurities. And with some of the stuff we need it for, that ain't good enough. Which is why I've been looking for something to filter the liquid we'll be cooking off. And that's where I was hoping you could help me out.
I imagine Ty could get some use out of this alembic too. Distilling medicines and the like. Alright. Why not?
Proper job!
So what exactly do you need for this filter?
Nothing but bomb ash'll do, says the chief. Gave me a sample she'd obtained from the university stores. Couldn't believe my eyes. You pour the blackest blight water through it, and it comes out clear as a mountain stream. So, I did a bit of reading about where I might be able to get hold of some. And do you know what I found out? It's only the blimmin' bones of a bomb king. They leave them behind when they die, see?
I take it that's where I come in.
If you wouldn't mind. I saw a billet on the hunt board for one just the other day. Would have gone myself, but, well, fighting dirty great balls of flame ain't exactly my forte. You, on the other hand...
Mais...
Alright.
Pourquoi faut qu'on aille au tableau d'élite?
Thank you kindly. And a good hunting, eh?
Je comprends pas. Il va même pas dire où je suis censé aller? À part au tableau.
Think Mid might need some help tidying up.
Si tu cherches un bonbon, il y en a justement un qui a été repéré. Lis son affiche sur le tableau pour savoir où se trouve Coupeau. Tu vas parler de mon voyage dans les îles à l'ouest du verre prenant. Ah merde, c'est vrai qu'il parle. Pour cela, c'est comme ça que vous appelez ces îles, vous humains, en langage mog, on les a nommées les forgerons et la mer qui les entoure la trempe. Quelle déception quand j'ai réalisé qu'il s'agissait que de terre morte avec un simple volcan où tout s'écoulait de la lave. Mais on a quand même... Mais quand on m'a raconté comment étaient les gens qui vivaient dans le coin, j'ai bien compris la chance que j'avais eue. Je sais pas compris. Il est où du coup le bombo? Empire de Sambrec, la Brésière. Donc Sambrec c'est là. Par contre la Brésière... Cap de l'Arcière... Porte... Chapelle de la Colline... Fée de la Dragonnière... Plaine de la Glorieuse... Là on peut pas y aller... Colline... Brie de l'avènement... Chemin des vieux pavés... Ouais, c'est Sambrec ça encore? Je sais toujours pas où est le... Je sais toujours pas où est la Brésière. Peut-être par là. Le truc c'est qu'on peut aller nulle part en fait. Je peux aller nulle part à part. Ok. Bon, on va être obligé d'aller là parce que le jeu veut pas que j'aille ailleurs. Peut-être qu'en allant là, ils vont me laisser tranquille. C'est venu parce qu'il me laisse commencer la quête. Attends, il y a une quête là aussi. Ok. Mais avant toute chose, ok. Donc, on va voir. Non, c'est là qu'il faudrait aller. Je vois que là où. Ah non, c'est par là. Donc tu m'attaques ? Je sais pas si j'étais obligé. Ok, c'était pas là. C'est pas grave. On a rien vu.
Look what we have here. Greetings, Your Majesty.
Merde, c'est pas le bon bouton. Bon, c'est pas la bonne technique. D'où ils sortent? Bébé bonbon. J'ai fait sur le mauvais bouton. J'ai pas appuyé sur le bon bouton. Oh god. J'ai effectivement une potion. Mauvais bouton. Tu arrêtes de bouger dans tous les sens? C'était prévu d'avance. J'ai pas fait gaffe. Je me suis fait embarquer. Deux secondes. C'est compliqué. Je crois que c'est la deuxième fois que je suis mort. Pourquoi il me ramenait aussi loin? Oh bordel, j'aurais dû sauvegarder. Ils sont sérieux. Oh, ça c'est relou par contre. J'avais oublié ce détail. Ceci dit, tout le monde est mort. J'ai juste besoin de... Non, ok. Je me suis fait avoir. J'ai juste besoin d'aller au bon endroit. Le fait que le truc soit là, ça me perturbe. On va sauvegarder devant le bidule. Oh putain, mais non, mais... Je me suis fait avoir comme tout à l'heure. Attends, on va sauvegarder ici. Il va falloir que je revoie ma technique. Faut pas que je me trompe de bouton cette fois. Ah mais il a pas de barre de... Je vais jouer plus prudent cette fois, ça va durer plus longtemps. Oups. Dit-il... Ah, ceci dit, j'ai rien perdu. J'ai peut-être eu un réflexe assez... C'est très ridicule comment je suis en train de le battre. J'ai pas le choix. Si je veux pas mourir comme tout à l'heure. Le problème c'est qu'il bouge tellement que tu peux rien faire en fait. Dès que tu essaies de faire un truc, il bouge. Et du coup ça mène à rien en fait. C'est Jill qui fait tout le boulot. What the fuck? C'est pas ça que je voulais faire mais... Hey! Bon, c'est plus moche que tout à l'heure. Quand je me suis dit, je sais pas si ça pourrait être plus moche. Oh god. Ah! C'est ça qui m'est arrivé tout à l'heure, non? C'est censé être seulement un B quand même. On va pas faire en sorte qu'il soit... Franchement, on a vu mieux. J'utilisais qu'une seule potion. J'aurais sûrement pu utiliser la forme d'Ifrit. Le problème c'est que lui il fait des dégâts de zone. Il sait pas viser a priori, il a oublié d'apprendre. Il a oublié comment on faisait pour viser.
Your reign is over. Now to collect the ash. I should... This looks like the stuff. Let's see if there's any more. That should do it.
Retournons ici.
Is that the thing Tomes helped with?
Mid told me she was building a ship.
Qu'est-ce qu'il va me donner? Il a intérêt de me donner un truc là.
How's that hunt for the bomb ash going?
I have it here.
That's the stuff. And plenty of it too. Enough to keep the Alembic bubbling away for a good old while. You're a gent, Sid. Let none say otherwise. Right then. Let's get this contraption up and running. There we have it. The Telemon Alembic. And it works just like the chief said it would.
Very impressive.
Says the man who cut down a burning boulder. Speaking of which, I still haven't returned the favor.
There's no need. The good it will do for the hideaway is reward enough.
Don't be silly. Why don't you let me take a look at that bag of yours? The one you keep your potions in. Reckon I could work some magic on that, huh?
What kind of magic?
Well, we happen to have isolated a substance in our test run of the Alembic that I reckon will make even the toughest leather supple as anything. Thought we might use it to breathe new life into old boots and the like. Save the hideaway a few gil. But I reckon if we slap a bit on your bag, it'll loosen it up enough for you to squeeze in a bottle or two more.
Well, it can't hurt to try, I suppose.
That's the spirit. Leave it with me. I'll only be a mo. Well, what do you reckon?
It certainly feels more
Hmm.
flexible.
Plus de place.
Told you.
Magnifique.
Thank you. I think.
No. Thank you for supporting Mid and the rest of us in our endeavors. Without you, we'd never have been able to discover wonders like that stuff I rubbed on your back. And I'm telling you, there's plenty more where that came from.
Et... Ouh. Combien, je ne sais pas, mais... C'est définitivement bien à faire. 4 à 6, 3... Super, 3 à 4. Qu'est-ce que je fais avec 4? C'est mieux que rien. Du coup, on va aller la remplir et on va chercher... Je sais pas où la... Ok, la deuxième quête est là. Ou on peut récupérer des récompenses en passant. Mid est parti, on sait pas où elle est. Et ça, c'est la porte. Ah non, ok. J'ai cru.
How may I help you today, Clive?
Your benefactors are a generous lot.
All done?
Clive! Anything catch your eye? Always something in there.
J'ai cru. Mais non, ok, donc on doit juste aller chercher la lettre.
Ned told me she was building a ship.
Really? That's a ship. Let's sail it round the lake.
I don't know where Sid gets the energy. He cracked the crystal too.
Ah oui, quand même. Un petit service. Je me suis aperçu qu'on avait un petit problème en faisant des comptes et j'aimerais que tu viennes me donner un coup de main pour régler tout ça quand tu auras le temps.
Trouble with the ledgers.
Je pensais qu'il y aurait moins de... Je pensais qu'il y aurait une quête. Non. Tant qu'on est là, on va récupérer les autres. Je sais que la gouvernement de Talgor m'inquiète un peu, c'est ainsi j'aimerais vous en parler, mais pour cela il faudrait que vous puissiez passer me voir. Bref, il y avait trop de mots dans ce que j'ai dit.
You seem well enough when I last saw him.
Je sais plus combien ils ont dit qu'on pouvait accrocher de quête. Mais du coup, celle-ci m'intéresse peut-être un peu plus. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Ok. Grâce à toi, Blackthorn a trouvé sa motivation. Cependant, j'ai marqué un temps qui recommence à soupirer entre deux coups de marteau et tout porte-à-corps qui la cuirasse de l'autre jour n'était pas la seule chose qui le minait. Je dois m'absenter du repère un moment à cause d'une mission, mais j'aimerais que tu vas lui parler quand tu as un peu de temps.
Hopefully it's nothing. But I should speak to Blackthorn just in case.
Ok, donc on peut en mettre 3, c'est parfait. N'oubliez pas. Allez, on va voir, on a encore une petite 40 minutes, 50 minutes, on verra. On va essayer de s'arrêter vers 4 heures.
You have a moment.
Not really, no.
This won't take long. I just wanted to ask how you're getting on. August was worried about you, and you might still be doubting your craft, even after learning the trick of that cuirass. Is there something else weighing on your mind? Perhaps sharing your thoughts might help.
That bastard's like a dog with a bone. Still, you've got a keen eye, I'll give him that. He's just, well, Karen showed me something. Something I've never seen before.
And that was?
A sword. An odd-looking thing with a single-edged blade. The metal itself wasn't anything to write home about, but fuck me, the edge on it. You could slice a man clean in two with a weapon like that, and he'd be halfway home before he even realized he'd been cut.
So that's what's troubling you.
Ah, il faut qu'on rachète des potions.
Not troubling me exactly, more distracting. Can't stop thinking, how do you get an edge that sharp? It's driving me mad.
And if you knew how to do it, we could arm the curse breakers with even better blades.
That's about the size of it, yeah.
I'll see what I can find out. Sharper swords are always welcome. And we can't have our master blacksmith being distracted.
You're a soft touch, you know that. But I can't say I'm not grateful for it. Good luck, eh?
Thank you. Let's see what Karen knows about this sword.
Ça tombe bien, je devais aller la voir.
I got your note. You
Ah,
think
merde.
something's wrong with Torgal?
So you can read.
Ok,
Congratulations. I didn't
pas la
say
peine
I
d'être
was wrong with
sarcastique.
him. I said something weren't right. He's not been eating me treats. He used to love cracking the bones from Molly's boiled brown, but now he won't so much as look at them. Didn't like him. Which is why I'm of a mind that his mind's on something else. You've not been working him too hard, have you?
No harder than usual. Is that it, boy? Do you need a rest?
What was it you said he was? A frost wolf?
That's what the lawsman seems to think.
Then maybe this all has something to do with whatever it is that's woken inside him.
I suppose things have been different since Rosalith. Perhaps Hippocrates knows something.
Instead of everything, you mean? Perhaps.
J'attends que... J'attends un mail pour me dire que... Il y a un truc que j'ai commandé a été envoyé. À chaque fois que je reçois un mail, c'est pas ça. Ça c'est... Non.
You're looking well, Karen.
What do you want? Out with it.
I want to know about the sword you showed Blackthorn.
J'ai reçu tellement de colis cette... Je crois que j'ai jamais reçu autant de colis cette semaine que...
Running around after him again, are you?
I suppose I am, yes. But I need to help him find out how to work an edge like that. It's driving him to distraction.
Little wonder, I suppose. There's not many like that make it as far as the twins, and those that do go straight into private collections. Which made it nice and easy finding a buyer.
Can you tell me who bought it? Where is it now?
You think I tell people who my clients are? Suppose you're not likely to go nicking him off me, are you now? Fine. If you stop mooning at me like that. Lord Ignac's the man you want. Dalmekian bloke. Collects weapons and the like. And he's got more money than sense, which is why he's one of my favourite clients. Reckon he'll still be at the inn in Dalamil, where I left him.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh. And he's a touch eccentric. If you take me meaning.
I appreciate the warning.
Je suis content en plus parce que j'ai pu commander la méga édition vinyle de la BO d'Horizon, j'ai trop hâte. Qui va sortir enfin, un jour. Je sais même pas, à la base c'était... Je crois que à la base j'avais commandé le CD qui était censé sortir l'année dernière. Ça a été reculé au mois de mars. J'ai même plus fait gaffe à force. Là ils en sont à... Là la dernière date qu'il y a c'est le 11 août. Non, je cherche pas un Billy, je cherche une personne.
Back again, are you?
Mais merde.
Trouble and you'll be barred for life, however deep your friends' pockets might be.
Welcome. If you're hoping for a bed, I'm afraid you'll have to
Non,
look
je cherche
elsewhere.
une personne.
One of our wealthy patrons has purchased the use of every room, hoping to keep out the riffraff, as he puts it.
Ok, donc quelqu'un a acheté toutes les pièces. Ok. Je voulais juste que j'aille un peu plus loin.
Will be ruined. Ruined.
Le pauvre.
Calm yourself, Lord Ignac, I beg of you, before you do yourself a mischief.
C'est lui qu'on cherche.
Pardon the intrusion, but
Out! Get out!
Tu veux même pas
I
rentrer.
paid for these rooms so I wouldn't be disturbed. Leave me be!
Je suis de l'autre côté de la porte.
Please, allow me to apologize. His lordship is going through a difficult time, and he's never been fond of guests arriving unannounced.
Radim! Get rid of the filthy oaf this instant!
Very good, Lord Ignac. Would you mind stepping outside for a moment?
I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
That? Oh, no, no. That's just how his lordship is.
Et merde.
Though the morning's events have
Il va
left
falloir
him
qu'on aille
somewhat
s'occuper d'eux.
fractious. He's been dispossessed of his luggage, you see. The thieves also made away with a considerable amount of coin. Coin the innkeeper will soon be keen to collect.
I don't suppose a certain blade was among the stolen items. A single-edged sword. It was purchased from a merchant friend of mine.
Ah, you know Lady Karen. Yes, I'm afraid it was.
Then I'll retrieve Lord Ignac's luggage. But I have one condition.
You have but to state it. You are welcome to anything that is within my power to grant.
I want an audience with Lord Ignac. A few minutes should be enough. Then I'll be on my way.
A condition I would be a fool to refuse. Of course, you shall have your audience.
I don't suppose you saw where the thieves went.
I did not, no. Though some discreet inquiries made on his lordship's behalf mean that I know where you might find them.
Ah, je crois savoir où c'est.
Bandit's bed. Every ill-gotten coin in Dalamal is said to pass through that
Ils sont
disreputable
plus loin dans le désert.
And that's where I'm heading.
I shall speak to Lord Ignac in your absence, and arrange for an audience upon your triumphant return.
That will be very kind of you.
Farewell, and best of luck.
Ok, le bivouac il est là. On va aller là. On va prendre le chocobo et on va y aller direct. On va pas forcément se battre contre les monstres en passant. On a Gilles avec nous. Ouais. On a Gilles. Gilles, c'est... Je sais pas si je récupère ça au passage. Si. Hello.
We've got company. Come on, lads, let's tear the bastard's head off. Over here. Over here.
Est-ce qu'on peut aller? Ouais, ça c'est déjà ira moins lui. Je sais même pas pourquoi il essaie. C'était un cri de détresse.
This
Très
must be his
perturbant.
next luggage. Nothing seems to be damaged. All right. Let's get it back to Delamel.
C'est
Here
bon,
I
on
have
est
you
potes.
to thank for the return of my effects. What shall I call you, my good man?
Wyvern. Glad to make your acquaintance.
A formidable name indeed. Well, Wyvern, I appear to be in your debt. Redeem here tells me you wished for an audience. Is that all?
A few moments of your time should suffice, yes.
You're a peculiar fellow, Wyvern. All right, speak.
Master Wyvern was wondering if you could tell him about a certain single-edged sword you recently acquired.
Oh, a true work of art, that one. Karen drove me hard on the price, but I would have sold her Radim here to get my hands on that.
Je sais pas si j'étais lui, je me serais rassuré.
Outer Isles, far beyond the Twin.
C'est un pourvoyeur le?
And
Non.
is used exclusively by the practitioners of a unique school of swordsmanship. They believe no combat should ever exceed a single strike, and hone their blades to such perfection that none ever does. Each sword is made for that one perfect stroke, and for that stroke only. They crack upon a second blow. There's a brutal sort of beauty to it, really.
C'est pas très écologique.
How do they hone such an edge?
Fine question. Why, they use a whetstone, of course. Whetstones, rather. A whole array of them, ranging from the coarse to the fine. 10,000 licks with the sharpening stone, then 10,000 more. But it is the final stone which lends the blade its legendary sharpness. A mineral quite foreign to this great realm of ours. And that is the key. The secret ingredient. Wyvern, it occurs to me that my little lecture is hardly equal to services rendered. Take this, together with my regards. The very stone of which I spoke, far rarer among collectors than even the blade itself.
Pourquoi il me les donne?
And a far more fitting payment.
Thank you.
Pardon the intrusion, my lordship. However, it is long past time we prepared ourselves to depart.
So it is. I am locked in bitter competition with a rival collector of curiosities. I am one step ahead of the unscrupulous scoundrel, but he is hard at my heels.
Are there many other collectors out there?
Too many to count, but only one
Oh.
I consider my nemesis, Lord
Comme par
Byron
hasard.
Rosfield, and is a perennial thorn in my side.
I can imagine.
Farewell, Wyvern. May our paths cross again. Radim, we mustn't dawdle.
I think his lordship is rather taken with you, Master Wyvern. Thank you again for your assistance. Coming, my lordship. I'll be right there.
Trust Uncle Byron to find such an interesting rival. Now, let's see what Blackthorn makes of this whetstone, shall we?
Je sais pas si on aura le temps de faire toutes les quêtes, mais on va essayer d'en faire un maximum. Comme ça, dimanche on peut continuer.
Sorry for the wait, but hopefully you'll agree it was worth it.
You learned something about that sword then?
I did better than that.
A whetstone?
Yes. But not one you'll find anywhere in Valisthea.
No wonder I couldn't get the same finish on the grinding wheel. One hit and all done, eh? Might not be so bad if all you ever fought were duels. Good luck on the battlefield. Your second opponent will be your last, no matter how good you were.
Even so, is there some way it could be used to give the curse breakers an edge?
I think so, yeah. With this whetstone and the right kind of steel, I could probably even make a twin of the blade that rattled me. But there'd be no replacing this little rock once I worn it down to a sliver. I reckon we get a dozen swords from it, if that. Swords that the curse breakers wouldn't know how to wield properly, and that would see them through a single fire piece. Nah, no point trying to copy that thing. Be about as much use as a wax anvil. But finishing our blades with a whetstone this fine, now that's something to consider. And what's finer than fallen masonry, eh? Or more hard-wearing, for that matter. Just imagine it. Good Valisthian steel with an edge as sharp as any found in the Outer Isles. I won't make a copy, nah. I'll make something much better.
I'm sure the curse breakers will be delighted. Just don't push yourself too hard.
Don't you worry about me, sunshine. I've been working day and night since I was half your age, and I'll still be here when you're long gone. Hey, thanks, Clive.
Je sais pas comment prendre ce qu'il
I
vient de
mean
dire.
it. I owe you one. August too. It's good to know someone's looking out for me.
You'll be happy to hear you said that.
And I'll see that my debt to you's paid. First new blade I make's got your name on it. You come and find me when you've got the materials.
Right? I will.
C'était 750 Excalibur, carrément. Est-ce qu'on peut faire Excalibur?
Clive? So, will it be?
On peut faire Excalibur.
No scratches, all right?
peut renforcer Excalibur. Merde. On peut pas renforcer Excalibur. Je sais même pas ce que j'ai comme équipement actuellement. Ouh. On va sauvegarder aussi parce que ça fait un moment qu'on n'a pas sauvegardé.
Oarsman, I need to ask you about Torgal. Something's not right with him.
He isn't ill, is he?
I don't think so. But according to Lady Karen, he seems to have lost his appetite, which is certainly a new development. She says he's hardly been touching his bones of late, and she believes it may have something to do with what happened at Rosalith Castle.
I rather think she might be right, though not about his appetite. All canids are instinctively inclined to crack open bones for the rich marrow that resides within, and I see no reason why a frostwolf should be any different. Accordingly, I suspect it is not a lack of appetite that afflicts Torgal, but a surfeit of it. If we assume that his newfound magics require additional nourishment to sustain, it may well be that the bones Lady Karen is accustomed to providing are no longer sufficient. Frostwolves, after all, habitually prey upon far larger animals, whose bones may yield altogether different nutrients. As to where one might find a suitable substitute, some antelopes that graze the meadows of eastern Rosaria have been known to grow to a size more than double that of their lesser cousins.
I don't recall ever seeing any that large.
And little wonder. The oldest and largest such creatures rarely leave the safety of the highlands for fear of predators. The last elder antelope sighting I recall hearing about took place near Cressida, and that was long before the village was abandoned.
Even so, it seems like a good place to start.
Good hunting, Clive.
On doit... Les antilopes âgées. C'est pas ça que je voulais faire. Je voulais faire avoir la sous-carte.
This one.
On va essayer de faire comme quand on a été battre le truc d'élite. On va essayer d'éviter les monstres qui sont là.
Well, it's certainly quiet. If I were a giant antelope, it would seem like just the place. I doubt we'll find one bigger than that. You hungry, Torgal? All yours, Torgal.
Super, comment... On lui fait même du barbecue.
Get him.
J'ai toujours pas acheté les potions que je disais que j'allais acheter.
Now, will it be enough, I wonder? I say that answers my question. Which means
Comment on
we
a
have
déjà
the
récupéré un
more
os?
things. You're just a big puppy, aren't you? A very big puppy. You do know you can take that with you, Torgal. Lady Karen will be relieved to hear you've got your appetite back. Come on, boy.
On va caresser.
When did you get so big?
C'est pas ça que je voulais faire. Je vais pas racheter les potions cette fois.
I noticed you and Torgal had gone off somewhere. Take him for a walk, did you?
You could say that.
Je sais pas quelle est l'épée officielle de Clive, visuellement.
So, Molly's leftovers weren't good enough, eh? That'll teach me for treating you like you're still a pup. All right, no need to shout. Now we know what you're after, I can see about getting some in.
Speaking of which, I brought one for later. Can I leave it with you?
J'essaie d'accéder à la boîte du jeu. Visiblement, le carton de l'édition de luxe, c'est comme si je l'avais jamais ouvert en fait. Le truc est tellement bien enfoncé. Il n'y a pas vraiment moyen de voir en fait. Bref.
Ah, Clive. Were you able to locate your quarry?
We were indeed, Lawsman. You pointed us in exactly the right direction. And Torgal's been a very happy hound ever since.
Very good, very good.
Lady Karen sends her thanks, by the way, for your part in solving the mystery.
Ah. But that reminds me. After your last visit, I found myself pondering Torgal's talents. Do you recall our conversation concerning Lady Jill's role in Torgal's transformation?
About how she somehow woke the power within him.
Precisely that. A reasonable conclusion, I thought. But one which raised certain questions in my mind. You see, the Fenrir of legend served Shiva and Shiva alone. And while the powers attributed to him are certainly impressive, the records imply they are somewhat different in nature to those you describe Torgal as having used.
What are you suggesting?
That Torgal may be the beneficiary of more than one icon's power. Consider that in addition to Lady Jill, he has served as a loyal companion to you, your brother, and even the late Cid. In short, the icons hitherto near at hand, or should I say at paw, have been diverse and plenty, and that number has only grown as the realm's dominance have fallen to your sword. One can but speculate as to how all of this has affected Torgal.
He has seemed more fierce of late.
And if I am not mistaken, he will grow fiercer still. We are fortunate indeed to be able to count him amongst our allies and not our adversaries.
Oh, he's more than an ally. He's a friend.
C'est vrai que j'ai pas regardé l'état de Talga. Huh. Je sais pas comment son rang grandit en fait, ils ont jamais expliqué ça. Je pense que je dois pouvoir récupérer une récompense. Yep. J'imagine que c'est la dernière quête qu'on va faire là. On a fait plein de quêtes aujourd'hui. Qu'est-ce qu'on a fait les mercredis? On a commencé, bref, on a fait un mélange de principales et de quêtes. Je te dis, la quête principale ressemblait un peu à une quête annexe.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Is everything we've received and everything promised?
Même si la société a jeté l'opprobre sur vous et vos compagnons, je refuse de croire que les défenseurs des parias puissent le mériter. Que la déesse vous protège, saint renégat.
Here you are.
Après c'est 850, donc
Best of luck out there, Sid.
encore une petite centaine de...
Clive, did you get my letter?
Oui.
That's why I'm here.
Shh. Otto won't be listening.
Is this better?
A little. Listen, I've some bad news. It turns out the hideaway may be slightly behind in its payment to certain lenders, and it may be my fault, but I swear to the goddess, I thought I had the numbers square. Sadly, that square turned out to be more of a circle. Zero, you might say. I can straighten it out, I swear, but it's gonna take some time, and I'm gonna need help keeping it from Otto.
Bit late for that, I would say.
There you are! What a surprise!
So let me get this straight. You forget to pay our lenders what they're due, and instead of coming straight to me, you get Clive to come to you. And I hope he'll dig you out of the hole you've dug for yourself. Clive, the man in charge of the place you've been cheerfully trying to bankrupt. And you thought this was a cunning plan. Why? Well, who needs paying?
Oh, just Martha. And the dame. And, well, Lady Karen. But only 500 talents.
We owe 3 of our most trusted friends 5 million gil.
Each. 5 million.
J'ai pas cet argent.
They lent us the bulk of the money we used to rebuild the hideaway, you see, and, well, I must have made some sort of oversight.
Those ledgers were my responsibility, and it was my decision to entrust them to you. This is my fault.
Do we have that much to hand? I can always ask my uncle.
No, we don't. And no, you won't. We've lightened Lord Rosfield's purse enough. After the king's ransom we had off him, he deserves better than to see our begging bowl. Besides, we'll need to learn to stand on our own if we're gonna make this
C'est là que Clive allait travailler au fast-food.
Right. But that doesn't mean you have to shoulder the burden yourself. Is there anything I can do to help?
There might be. How'd you fancy taking these to Martha and the dame?
Rocks.
Rocks, he says. Worth 1,000 talents apiece, these are.
Little something Sid and I set aside for when times got lean. And I reckon 15 million in overdue debt probably qualifies. I just hope our associates' eyes are a bit more discerning than yours.
I'm sure there will be.
Should be me making the rounds, really. But you know how it is with this place. Orders to bark, asses to wipe and all that.
I know. Which is why I don't mind going in your place.
Go. Do you know why I only gave Master Clive here 2 star rubies?
Because you'd rather Lady Karen killed me.
Because I'd rather Lady Karen killed you. Yes.
Well, I suppose this is goodbye then.
Don't worry. I'm sure Karen will understand.
Really? Do you think so?
No, I don't.
Ah. Déjà, commençons ici. Et j'ai oublié d'acheter les potions. Encore.
Anything catch your eye? Thanks very much. Much obliged. There you go. Much obliged.
Ça c'est fait.
Clive, we weren't expecting you.
I wasn't expecting to be here, but it seems we still owe you a considerable amount of coin for your help with our rebuilding efforts. And though I doubt it's what you were expecting, we were hoping you'd take this as payment.
A star ruby? I can't accept this. It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the right buyer.
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever borrow from me again. Anyway, why are you the one here asking me about this? I'd have expected Otto. Bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to settle your debts, isn't it? The old goat working himself to death again.
Something like that. Most days I think he's the only reason the hideaway's still standing.
Same as always, eh? Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a recently retired Lord Commander, word is he was the first one Sid reached out to. Probably knew that without his strong arm and level head, the idea would never get off the ground. Sid may have been the face of the hideaway, but Otto's always been the backbone. And when Sid passed away, we were all worried that would be the end of it. That Otto would just give up.
His death was hard on everyone. But it must have hit Otto hardest of all.
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, in fact. If I recall, he was the one who nominated you as Sid's replacement. And rallied the rest around you. I reckon what he saw in Sid, he saw in you too. And don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're half as stubborn and twice as handsome, neither. That, and you keep good company.
I suppose I do.
Ok. On va aller voir Apolline. Bon, par contre... Ok. Le défaut c'est celui-là donc ça va.
There's talk at the glass. How the hell is anyone supposed to...
Did you hear?
The gates to heaven.
I want to see you again tonight, but the captain's late with our pay.
Ok. Vous savez que vous êtes là à chaque fois, que vous êtes tout le temps là. Vous avez pas bougé.
What am I gonna do without Sweetwater and Oil of Talc?
Still no caravan from the Dominion's parfumeries yet, then?
Milady, I come bearing gifts.
Gifts? Whatever is the occasion.
Je sais pas, on doit beaucoup d'argent.
Oh my. Clive, you really have outdone yourself.
Otto asked me to give it to you. To settle the Hideaway's debt with the Veil. And to compensate you for the time it took us to do so.
You disappoint me, Clive. I thought you might finally be warming to me. Tell Otto he can keep his baubles. I tried to tell him as much the first time around. The man owes me nothing, nor does the Hideaway. My contribution to the restoration effort was made freely and willingly. It was the least I could do.
You once told me Sid did you a kindness. I'd like to do the same. Please, accept it. For my sake. And for Otto's. For all of us. For all you've done.
It is rather fetching, isn't it? Very well. Otto is lucky to have you, Clive. I doubt anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the Hideaway are the closest thing he has to family.
Otto had a son.
Long ago, yes. Sid told me Otto lost him when he was just a boy, and blamed himself for not being able to stop it. I don't know how it happened, whether there was anything he could have done, but it was clear that it weighed heavily on him.
I didn't know.
How could you have? I doubt anyone did. Besides Sid, I've never met a man more keen to bear his sorrows in stoic silence. An ill habit, given that both have always been surrounded by friends desperate to help them.
I'm beginning to see that. Go will want to know the stones were delivered. If he's still with us.
Is that the thing Tomes helped?
Mid told me she was building a ship.
Goat. Still alive, I see. So Lady Karen accepted the ruby.
Ah, about that. I tried my best, but she was just too stubborn to take it. She threw it right back in my face, in fact, and told me I could stick my stupid stone where the sun don't shine.
Karen refused payment.
I hope it wasn't something I said.
I'm sure you were as tactful as ever. Let me see what I can do.
Oh, wonderful. I hope you have better luck than I did.
I don't know where Sid gets the energy.
Lady Karen, Goat tells me you weren't happy with our offer. Would you prefer the debt was repaid in coin?
What debt? I don't recall lending any of you lot me hard-earned gil. I may have tossed a talent or two in the Hideaway's coffers, but those were donations, and you can hardly call it charity if you go asking for it back.
Of course not. But one good turn deserves another. And our circumstances have changed. Surely you wouldn't shun the gratitude of a pauper who happened to have become a prince.
Oh, so you're a prince now, are you? Fine. But I'm selling it and taking what I'm owed, then you're getting the rest whether you like it or not. Where'd you even get this? A decent trader might nab 1,000 talents for a star ruby. A canny one, meanwhile, might claim it were nicked from the belt of Sid the Outlaw himself and ask twice as much. Might be I already have a buyer in mind. Might be you even know her. A fine continental maid whose beauty's only eclipsed by a guile in commerce. You wouldn't mind, would you?
Not at all. Just be sure to tell her that it's always a pleasure doing business.
I hear you ended up delivering all 3 stones. Thanks to this lump. I sometimes wonder what I pay you for.
Speaking of which, I still haven't been paid last month's wages.
Oh, so you remember what's owed to you then? Get your ass behind that disc of yours and don't get up before those ledgers are square.
Pourquoi ils ont pas traduit ça? Parce que là ils viennent de dire qu'il avait pas été payé. Ils ont juste traduit par oh, ça reçoit pour de rappeler. C'est bizarre.
I've seen that before.
Yeah. Plenty of times. It was the only goblet Sid ever used. Either out of habit, or because the filthy sod couldn't be bothered to find a clean one.
I knew so little about him.
Like most people.
Martha and the Dame both seem to have fond memories of him.
I bet they do.
How long did you know Sid before he...
Before he died. 20 summers, give or take. Back in the day, I was a purser on a trade ship, which is where I met him. He bought passage to, forget where. And having nothing better to do on the long nights, we set up drinking island rum till the morning bell dragged me back to my duties. Quit my post not long after that, on account of making a fine maiden's belly fat. But me and Sid stayed close, promising we'd one day sail the seas again. That was before fate stepped in and said she was having none of it. The magic woke inside my son soon after his first name day, and there was no hiding his knack.
Couldn't you and your family have...
My family were the ones who summoned the constable. With the monster taken away. I couldn't turn my back on him. Forget what I felt, and I couldn't for the life of me understand how they could. Luckily, Sid was of the same mind as me. It was him who stood beside me when all I wanted was to tear the whole world down. Him who cried for me when I had no tears left of my own. Him who swore he'd do everything he could to stop it from happening again. And he was true to his word too. Left the Royal Army once and for all. His ranks, his ribbons, gone. Just like that. Threw away everything he had. All to right a wrong that no one else had the courage to face. I knew then I'd follow that man to the ends of the earth.
Attendez, on a un petit flashback, ok.
He was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown. And it can't have been easy, bearing that burden alone.
it stop him. He never lost faith in what he believed was right. And that gave us faith in him. Faith he'd steer us true. So I swore to myself that I'd always be right behind him, ready to catch the stubborn sod, if ever he should fall. But I couldn't even do that. Ignore me, just the ramblings of a tired old man. Leave that lot. I'll tidy it up in a bit.
This is Sid's handwriting. Dear Otto.
I may be drunk, but I wanted you to know this place would be fucked without you. Love you, you grumpy old sod.
Je pensais que ce serait plus long. Mais...
This note.
What about it?
Bah, Lila.
Sid was right. Without you, we'd all be lost.
You should have bloody well said so then. Just once. Before he went. But then, why would he? Him or anyone? I'd only have told him to piss off. You're wrong, though. Both of you. It was never just me keeping the hideaway afloat. It was all of us. I just shoved people in the right direction, and I barely seem to be able to do that anymore.
Would you rather go we're at the helm?
Well, maybe I've got a few more years left in me.
I'm going to hold you to that, Otto.
Before you go, Sid would have wanted you to have this.
But that's...
This'll do me just fine. Thanks for the ray of sunshine. I'll see if I can't pay you back.
Already have.
Ok, donc on a fait tout ce qu'il y avait à faire. On va juste aller chercher un petit truc.
Ned told me she was building a ship.
Du coup, dimanche, on fera la quête annexe qui est sur le chemin de la quête principale. Et on se rattrape avec la quête principale. Peut-être que les deux seront plus ou moins intégrés ensemble.
He cracked the crystal too.
Il y a quand même beaucoup d'objets de quêtes rêvées. Enfin bref. Du coup on s'arrête là pour aujourd'hui. On se retrouve dimanche pour la suite. On va faire... Du coup on va se diriger vers la quête principale. On fera la quête annexe qui traîne sur le chemin. Et puis on verra où ça nous mène. Peut-être qu'on aura fait le cristal... C'est bizarre, je sais pas trop vers où on va. Peut-être qu'on aura fait le cristal du Dominion dimanche. On verra. Enfin bref, sur ce, je vous souhaite tous une bonne fin d'après-midi. Et je vous dis à dimanche. Bye.